I joined the Culty Church, Bethel School of Supernatural Ministry, and now I want to talk about the poor citizens of Redding who unfortunately have to share their city with Bethel. I will make a video on the politics aspect of this all later, but I need to do a little bit more research for that, although I have heard things. But this is just going to focus on the day-to-day life of the poor residents of Redding. I know that Bethel has put them through the absolute ringer. As I talked about in other videos, Bethel is all about treasure hunts, which essentially you are going to pray, ask God for who you are supposed to go find, and then you go look for them. So one of the main hot spots is the mall. I cannot tell you how many times Bethel students would organize a treasure hunt at the Redding Mall. So just imagine you're trying to go to Hot Topic, you're trying to go to Victoria's Secret, and all of a sudden people are like, hi, you're wearing a pink shirt. This piece of paper says pink shirt. God has a word for you. Can I prophesy and pray over you? And you're like, I am literally trying to buy a bra. Forget about it. If you have any visible disability, if you are in a wheelchair, if you have a cast, anything like that, I cannot imagine how many times a day you are getting approached because people really want that testimony to share at Sunday service, or they are just wanting to brag about it to their revival group. So I'm sure you just like have a giant target on your back, and it makes me feel very sad now. Like, I never did that, but I know so many people that were doing that. And my job now is actually helping fit people for custom power chairs and wheelchairs. So I work a lot with this community, and I am horrified at what the people in Redding have to deal with. Not to mention, Bethel students are loud. So if you are at any of these places like Chipotle or Froyo places after a Sunday service, they are loud, they are rowdy, they could be manifesting, they could be acting some sort of way, and these poor residents are just like trying to grab some dinner. There was one incredibly cringy time. I remember I went to go get pizza after a service. Oh gosh, it was so bad. And I was sitting there in the booth eating with my friends, and all of a sudden a fire tunnel broke out. Remember this from one of my other videos? So a fire tunnel is breaking out, and people are touching people. People are getting drunk in the spirit, laughing on the floor in a public pizza place. They are being loud. They are being rowdy. People are falling to the floor to the point where you could not walk around this pizza shop because there were bodies all over the floor, manifesting, laughing, going, whoa. If you know, you know. Bethel, they loved it. Whoa. Anyway, but it was so cringe. But Bethel views this as like a beautiful thing because they're like, wow, see, we're bringing heaven to earth and it's reaching pizza places. Like, it's not leaving, or it's not staying in the four walls of the church. We are like having massive outbreaks of the Holy Spirit in public. So they really enjoy that this happens. It's not something that they frown upon. It is, in their mind, bringing heaven to earth into secular spaces. I do remember in my first year, there was one place where we were not allowed to treasure hunt. And actually Bethel was the one who like made this announcement to us. Apparently so many people used to go to Walmart and do treasure hunts at Walmart that we were actually banned. And Bethel students were not allowed to pray for people in Walmart. Walmart made a rule, contacted Bethel, and they said, hey, you have to stop. Like, people don't want to come shop because you guys are sending people here. So on my first day of first year, they said you can treasure hunt anywhere in the city except for Walmart. One other thing that a lot of the residents unfortunately have to deal with is unemployment because there is a lack of jobs. So imagine all of these students are coming into town and they are taking up jobs because all of these students are broke. They need jobs unless they are fundraising their way, which a lot of students do. They completely fundraise for their rent. They say, I am a missionary, so they get people from their church to pay for their rent and their food while they are at Bethel. But if these people are getting a job, they are taking up all of these jobs. So I ended up working at Taco Bell when I was there, by the grocery store. I forgot. I think it started with a W, but Winco, is that the name of it? But I worked at that Taco Bell, and that was the only place I could get hired. It was so hard to find a job because you have to imagine that the students are coming in and they're taking up all the Barnes & Noble, Starbucks, all of those sorts of jobs. So the poor citizens of Redding can have a hard time finding work. In the next video, I'm going to talk about how we were knighted with swords at our second year graduation. It was very theatrical. Follow for the next part.